Something satisfying started happening in your life recently, and you've been trying to ignore it. Like if you name it, it disappears. Like if you let yourself believe it's real, the universe snatches it back. But it's not going anywhere. Not this time. That quiet shift you've been feeling, the one where things just started falling into place without you forcing them, that's not coincidence. That's the life you've been praying for. And it answered. I need you to hear me when I say this. You didn't stumble onto this video. You were brought here because what's unfolding around you right now is so much bigger than you realize, and you need to stop shrinking away from it. For years, you carried something heavy, a vision of the life you wanted that felt so far away it almost mocked you. You could see it. You could feel what it would be like to wake up in that version of your reality. The peace. That deep exhale where your whole body just lets go because you finally made it. But every time you reached for it, something pulled it further away. And after enough of those moments, you stopped reaching. You never stopped wanting it. But wanting it hurt too much when nothing moved. Here's what was actually happening during all of that. Every prayer you whispered in the dark. Every tear you shed when nobody was watching. Every time you sat in your car after a hard day and just stared at the steering wheel. Every night you lay awake wondering if any of this would ever change. None of that was wasted. Not 1 second. The universe doesn't ignore you. It never did. It was taking all that pain and longing and building something with it. Quietly, behind the scenes, in places you couldn't see yet. Think about how a house gets built. For weeks, maybe months, all you see is dirt, heavy equipment, a hole in the ground that looks like nothing. If you drove past that construction site every day, you might think they abandoned the project. But underground, they're pouring the foundation, running the pipes, doing the work that nobody applauds because it's invisible. Then one day, walls go up. Suddenly, everyone notices. That's where you are right now. The walls are going up. You've probably noticed it in small ways first. A conversation that opened a door you didn't even know existed. A person who showed up and just got you without you having to explain yourself or prove anything. Maybe money moved in a direction it hadn't before. Maybe an opportunity landed in your lap and your first reaction wasn't excitement. It was suspicion. Because you've been burned before, because good things showing up uninvited felt like a setup. But I want you to sit with something uncomfortable for a moment. What if you've been so conditioned by struggle that you genuinely don't know how to receive? What if the life you've been begging for has been trying to reach you, and you keep flinching every time it gets close? That flinch is not your fault. When you've spent years in survival mode, your nervous system doesn't know the difference between a threat and a blessing. They both feel like something's about to change, and change has historically meant pain. So your body braces. Your mind starts looking for the catch. You tell yourself don't get too comfortable. Don't let your guard down. But that era is ending, right now, as you listen to these words. The version of you that had to fight for every scrap of peace, that had to earn rest and justify their own happiness to people who never deserved that power. That version completed their assignment. They carried you through the wilderness, and they did it with more grace than anyone gave them credit for. But the wilderness is behind you now. What's ahead doesn't require the same armor. The life that's building around you right now doesn't need you to hustle it into existence. It doesn't need you to lose sleep over every move. You don't have to white-knuckle your way through each day, hoping you don't mess it up. This new season runs on a different fuel: trust. A kind of openness that terrifies someone who's been hurt, but heals them the moment they choose it. I know what you're thinking. That sounds nice, but you've heard this before. You've gotten your hopes up before. You've believed things were changing, and then the rug got pulled. So, let me be specific. The reason this time is different is because you are different. Go back 2 years in your mind. Think about who you were. Think about what you tolerated. Think about the version of you that said yes when everything in your gut screamed no. Think about how you abandoned yourself to keep other people comfortable. Now look at who you are today. You've drawn lines you never thought you could draw. You've let go of people and situations that were draining you dry, and you did it even though it hurt. You stopped performing. You stopped pretending you were okay when you weren't. You started honoring your own needs. Maybe clumsily, maybe imperfectly, but you started. That's the entire thing. The universe was never waiting for perfect circumstances. It was waiting for you to become someone who could hold what it wanted to give you. And you've become that person. Quietly, without fanfare, through 1,000 small choices that nobody clapped for. You became ready. If this message found you right when you needed to hear it, type "building" in the comments. Not for me, for you. To mark this moment as the one where you stop doubting what's coming. Now here's the part that might scare you. Receiving this new life means letting go of the identity you built around struggle. And that identity kept you safe for a long time. It gave you something to hold on to when nothing else made sense. I'm the one who never catches a break. I'm the one who has to do everything alone. Those stories were true once, but they're not true anymore, and carrying them forward into this new chapter will block the very things trying to reach you. You cannot walk into abundance while still wearing the uniform of scarcity. At some point, you have to take it off, even if you feel naked without it, even if you don't know who you are without the weight. Who you are without the weight is exactly who the universe has been preparing this life for. Let that sink in. The relationships forming around you now, they're different. You can feel it. There's a depth there that didn't exist before. People who see you actually see you without you having to shrink or inflate yourself to fit their expectations. People who feel like home in a way that doesn't come with conditions. Your energy shifted and it started attracting its match. The opportunities showing up, they're different too. They don't feel desperate. They don't feel like you have to grab them before they disappear. They feel steady, aligned, like they were always supposed to be yours, and the timing just finally caught up. Even your body knows. The tension you've been carrying in your shoulders and your chest, it's loosening. Maybe not all at once, but in moments. Moments where you catch yourself breathing deeper than you have in months. Moments where you realize you haven't felt that familiar anxiety in a few days, and instead of celebrating, you get anxious about not being anxious. Because peace feels foreign when you've been at war with your own life for so long. Let peace feel foreign. Let it be uncomfortable. Sit in it anyway. The discomfort of receiving is so much lighter than the pain of going without, and you've paid enough of that price. What I want you to understand, really understand in your bones, is that you're not waiting for your life to begin anymore. It began. It's happening. The building is underway, and the architect is something far more intelligent than your conscious mind. You don't need to manage every detail. You don't need to see the full blueprint. You just need to keep showing up as the version of you that chose to change, and let the rest assemble around that choice. Because that's exactly what it's doing. Every morning you wake up and choose yourself again. Every time you honor a boundary. Every time you trust your gut over someone else's opinion. Every time you rest when your old programming tells you to push harder. You're laying another brick in this new life, and the structure is becoming undeniable. People around you are starting to notice. They can't quite name it, but something about you is different. You carry yourself differently. You speak differently. Not louder, just clearer. There's a gravity to you now that wasn't there before. An authority that comes from someone who stopped asking for permission to exist fully. That gravity is pulling your life into formation, finances, health, relationships, purpose. They're not separate battles anymore. They're starting to move as one current, and that current is carrying you somewhere you've never been, but always belonged. So, tonight, or whenever you lay down after hearing this, I want you to close your eyes and say something to yourself. Not as a hope, as a fact. My life is building itself around me now. I don't have to chase it. I just have to let it. And then let yourself feel whatever comes up. Joy, grief, relief, fear, all of it. Because this transition cuts deeper than what you see changing around you. Every emotion that surfaces is just another old wall coming down to make room for what's new. You made it, not to the finish line. There is no finish line, but to the part where it stops feeling like survival and starts feeling like life. Real life. The one you saw in your mind all those years ago that made you ache because it felt impossible. It was never impossible. It was just early, and now it's right on time. If this reached you in a moment where you needed exactly these words, leave a like so it can find the next person who's quietly going through what you've been through. And subscribe, because this isn't the last time the universe has something to say to you. There's more coming, and you're gonna want to hear it.